Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox, that's Ben Olson. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We got an email here from Dan. The subject is extra time on RC.
Ben and Nathan, how do you suggest to best use an extra minute or two on reading comp when you've reached the end of the questions for a particular passage? I don't really understand the question. 30 to 90 seconds is not enough time to effectively read the next passage and try to answer even its first question with any accuracy, but is way too much time to waste. Correct me if I'm wrong in saying that you're probably better off picking all C's for that entire passage. Well, okay, so what's happening here is you're getting to the end of presumably passage 3. You have 1 to 2 minutes left in the section, and you're wondering what to do at that time. Hopefully, you've already, at the 5-minute warning, picked all C's for the remaining questions and just changed the ones you ended up getting to. You have 90 seconds. I would start reading the next passage anyway, because we're talking about what you're doing now. And what you're doing now is learning how to just keep going through the section. And one day you'll have 3 minutes. And another day you'll have 4 minutes. And you'll just know what to do, because what you do is you read passage 4 and you keep going. And one day you'll get to that first question. So I wouldn't worry about what you're going to do on test day. If this were test day, well, there's nothing wrong with sitting there for 90 seconds.
Yeah, it's not way too much time to waste. If you've been doing it the right way, then you don't have anything to go back and review.
Yep.
Dan does continue.
I recently encountered this scenario and went back to review previous answers in the section to make the most of my time. You know, you could actually make a lot of your time, but just by chilling.
Right.
Resetting. Anyways, he continues, I actually forgot the reasoning I had used to correctly answer a main point question and instead picked a wrong answer I had considered the first time I did the question. Ugh! Exclamation point. What should I do with this extra time? Thanks for your continued help. Go Demon. Best, Dan.
Praise the demon is the catchphrase that we use. Thank you, Dan. What do you want to say?
Just continue forward, Dan, because I want you to get to a point where you're starting to finish the 4th section, and you will get there if you keep practicing that way. Don't worry about any of this.
Yeah, there's a big difference between 30 seconds and 90 seconds. 30 seconds is absolutely nothing. Make sure you've bubbled in an answer for everything. 90 seconds is enough time to do a question. It's maybe not enough time to read the entire passage and answer any of the questions, but it's close to enough time that you could maybe start to get the main point. I mean, and if it were 3 or 4 minutes, like Ben said, then I think it's definitely potentially enough time that you could answer one question.
No, that's actually a fair point. Like, what if you read the first passage and the main point became not guaranteed, but 90% likely?
I saw one just the other day where it was like, there was a sentence at the very beginning of the second paragraph where it was like, okay, that's going to be your thesis. Like, I can tell that you need to explain what you just said. I can see how you gave me a little introduction background in the first paragraph. And I was asking, I wonder what you think about this. And then in the first fucking sentence of the second paragraph, you tell me what you think about it. And I can tell that you're going to then develop an argument from there. And sure enough, that turned out to be just the answer for the main point question. It happens. So yeah, I agree. You need to just go ahead and start reading that next passage. I hate strategies that involve going back to check. It's not that, Dan here has an example of where he went back, changed the answer, missed it. But for every one of those, there's probably one where he goes back, changes the answer, and gets it right. So it's not like always trust your gut or anything stupid like that. Always trust your first instinct. No, get it right. But the thing I hate is the idea that Dan is answering questions and not feeling good about his answers, but proceeding anyway with this idea that he might be able to go back and review that question later.
Yeah.
I feel like you're just going to be now carrying that question with you as you do new questions or even a new passage, and you've still got, but number 12, I got to go back and look at that one. Use the 30 or 90 seconds in that moment and sort it out instead of flagging it or remembering that you're going to go back and double check it. The go back and double check is immediately inefficient anyway. So it's like Dan thinks, but I need to make use of that 30 to 90 seconds. No, you don't, because it's like worthless time if you don't apply it. I don't know. You needed to apply it in the moment, not apply it retroactively to go back and check. What are we checking?
Yeah, I agree. Good luck, Dan. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.